Let me talk about survival. I have used it in 150 patients. Survival meningioma, which I still feel that those or posterior thalamus. But of course, all this approach, say 1 out of 6, 7 cases are indicated for surgery, and that was my beginning. This is the last sitting position. I will put down some CFS, the sinus a bit, and you gain some more millimeters for your approach, and then this is the transfer sinus, the meningioma in petroclival region, this small high-grade glioma, which is not really the best indication for this, but you see that it's above and below the tentorium, but it's simple, and the grade is the pilocytic astrocytoma of the posterior thalamus. Again, the same approach, and on the right enough that you can approach it very easily. This is the ependymoma anywhere through the brain tissue. This is a young boy, fourth nerve, and as the resection continues, this is at the end when you easily see after surgery the same case. AVM, because of the unpassage vessel, this is not a good case for Gavanai. Probably they didn't want. This was the approach along the vein with the use of ICG, as Yoko Kato has shown. This is the typical petroclival meningioma. The patient is a young lady, she's 6 months. This is the end of surgery. You see the third nerve in the front relieving this membrane. In the OR, not knowing it. Another meningioma, this is another kind of meningioma of the straight sinus, the anterior suprainfra. By now I'm pretty sure that all of them may be resected only through the suprainfra approach. In this case I have left a little piece behind. The remnant, it was like a plug in the rectus sinus, and it was then controlled by radiosurgical means. Route how to approach it easily, not going through the brain tissue, to get into the fissure between the brainstem and middle temporal, seen by the bubbles above the cerebral hemisphere. This is the pilocytic astrocytoma, the cyst helps, and again the same approach, again cutting the tentorium, going higher up, stretched higher up during these surgeries.
MC aneurysm, but the anterior coronary artery is here double. Well, this big to the weakness going to the internal factor. Bigger one is going to the this appearing. A little bit difficult to see, too bright. To preserve this curvature and connection, and then go to the much long time, usually the 30 minutes or 1 hour. And this is anterior coronary aneurysm. You see, this is internal part for the internal capsule, and that is coming to this way. Anterior coronary artery will be very damaged, and using this time straight, and this time you have to concentrate only the this portion, not necessarily to using the tablet. And this time you may concentrate on the curvature. And slowly, most important thing is not how to move the hand, but how to start.
डायरेक्ट तो दिया हुआ है
time. So the ICT showing that maybe it's possible to put a level sheet on. Big part was already omitted, but we would like to obliterate this part, and also see the you are dumping of the small one and then the under this angle. And not possible, maybe you can change the shape during into the backside, and then at the coagulate the backside, then the branch is coming to the end of this part, aneurysm. Before the center, but it was changing to the end. So you can put the clip like this way. Maybe we will be skip. First, the perforator is coming here, but if you coagulate on the back side, then the blunt is coming to the end of this part. Then we can put the clip on like this way. Not so difficult. And after the surgery, this is okay. And this one is the kissing aneurysm, and this is PCOM from the EHAC. And then this is the operative view, and the vein is also. And then before surgery, we imaged how to do the surgery like this way. And then maybe it will be skipped. And then we did the part maybe a little bit shorter than the aneurysm. Then second one is completely obliterated of the aneurysm. Then perforator, anterior. Or if the blunt is coming from the middle of the aneurysm, maybe you can jump this perforator and then another clip. Then we'll skip the case and also, and if there is some the remnant there, but not necessary to use the curved clip, you can only the straight clip, maybe obliterate over here. That is much easier. And this aneurysm is sometimes I'm showing that partial thrombosis, and also the other side is the anterior coronary artery coming. We have to preserve here superficial trunk, and this is anterior coronary artery. And another clip we are putting on like this way, and then between the two clips, aneurysm end, and the superficial trunk between the two clips, then it's preserved. The patient is completely well. And intraoperative angiography showing small fluid inside, but 1 week afterward it was completely obliterated. A clip like this, and between the two it was coming. completely. If there is a branch on there, only this branch can survive, but the others is completely obliterated. And this is the antecoital giant aneurysm, and it was ruptured case, and 1 month afterward it's coming to my hospital. And you see, and the antecoital artery is coming from the, we can preserve here. This is the antecoital artery. Another clip we are putting under the antecoital artery and then obliterate here. Then we can preserve the antecoital artery, all branches, and patient is completely well. And here you see that before and before, but after the antecoital artery preserved. And this is the final case of the small young daughter, girl of 14 years age, and then come to my university hospital, and the patient has a double giant thromboid, partial thromboid aneurysm, internal carotid here, and MC and branch is coming from the, this is the MCA, and branch is electrical circuit is coming here. There is a small, there's a big thrombus, and then swept out to make the narrow of the part artery. Then it's the Doppler is gone. So, and then so we are around the neck part open, and then remove the thrombus and makes it soften, and then put the clip deeper point, and then so the artery is nice enough. But this point is not good because there are two big aneurysms, and this part could be that kind of the old thrombus. Then it will be released, but it was already open, but blood is not coming. That means it's completely well. So the patient is completely well to back to the junior high, and then she played the badminton for a long time. And so the summary of the aneurysm surgery is not a clipping of the aneurysm, but the preservation of the rupture of the aneurysm without any neurological deficit. That is the point. Perforator is the most important for the preservation of the neurological deficit. Mouth clipping is a good option. And how to operate is image the first, then don't hurry, but do not do the thing unnecessary. Then cutting line and watch your own video, and to check your surgery by yourself. For skill of neurosurgery, image of the operation before the operation is the most important, maybe 60% by imagination eye and 40% by actual eye. Move hand freely, be calm in nothingness during surgery. So, and doing the difficult thing in a difficult way is average. But doing easy thing in a difficult way is poor. But doing difficult thing in an easy way is a master. So thank you for your attention.
Please give a huge applause for him. I speak about aneurysms. I don't show any videos because my videos are all in internet. You can take a look. You can spend 2 months with them in internet 8 hours a day. So this is to honor my place. And this is Bachelor in Helsinki, 2009, when I, in front of him, and before the PhD of Dr. Martin, 501, Pista Antrio because I was using so high magnification, and the field was wrong, because he's operating on lateral decubitus. And the pictures in the book of Dr. Martin Lehecka were wrong, so Martin Lehecka is extremely intelligent. He made one extra book with every picture 90 grades for Dr. Bachelor, so when he was opponent in Helsinki. Sentence we put in the Dr. Drake book. I was working with Dr. Drake and Fearless, and I analyzed all the cases of Dr. Drake and Fearless. There's the a series. So you should publish and things that might be useful for others. And this is the title I was asked to keep by Jack Morgos, who was organizing the Los Angeles meeting, and this is very well, and we should not go so much endovascular. So, background, endovascular surgery in 90s, and then came ISAT study and BRAD study. These are the 3 randomized studies around the world. We didn't find any difference in Kuopio study in the outcome of treatment, so I continued direct clipping and didn't get involved in ISAT study. Then you are not doing good microsurgery because of the scientifically randomized series. So if these hands are doing the surgery, so this is completely different game than other hands, where the operation might be 24 hours or so. So, and then I have been around the world. We were invited with my friend all over the world, invited to different places, need any neurosurgeon. And I'm saying that I can do every other. This is, and after that, Jaguar said to me, okay, you may continue, so I'm the only one who has to. You don't see any neurosurgery in France, you don't see any neurosurgery, but it's coming back, it's coming back. So this is the Helsinki series, well, and this young lady, Hanna Lehto, she sacrificed 7 years of her life. So one of the most important to the end is extremely difficult, and this is until the end. So this is the experience with what I'm speaking. I'm combined in this, and I have been involved in 1/3 of the treatment. Finland is not far away. There's only one neighbor, is the big Russia. So how to select the patient is that we have unselected material. There are no selected. The neurosurgeon doesn't understand the catchment, our catchment area policy, and this is population-based. So, one example, 99, this is operated on acutely, that's Papaika aneurysm, so you cannot speak about zero mortality or morbidity. Simple, fast, cheap, and fast means fast. If you are in a hurry to go, this is the fastest way. Going to Helsinki in a few weeks, it's not so black and snow there. So to speak, to be better, and this is completely different. And This is completely different than just to put a clip and then go away. Of course, the way is more difficult than endovascular way. So, when you push coils and stents, then the aneurysm many times remain alive, even you have short follow-up. So that you push something in an island somewhere and the next day you fly away and then you show beautiful pictures. You have to know how is the long-term follow-up of this patient. And this is extremely convinced it didn't die, and we have published since that a long survival. We have to be good and efficient. Otherwise it is nonsense to operate. If you are doing poor surgery, so please give the surgery to others. So keep your cases in good hands. And this is important. Is good planning, one operation room after each other's. Before I'm doing anything, I don't know what she's thinking, but the instruments are flying in my hands, and this is wonderful experience. No speaking with this team around the world, you feel home when you go. So, some few examples. This is endo or extravascular surgery because the superior cerebral artery is coming from the base of the aneurysm. Helsinki, from bottom, and these are post-operative pictures, so you see that the aneurysm is perfectly clipped and like Sarno has. And this is, patient was confused a few days after surgery, but then went home and went back to his work after 3 months. The same evening by pre-sigmoid approach, and I have learned to do it very clips on both sides because there's very little substance. Very small ruptured aneurysms are coming, so you put temporary clip on both sides and then you put one clip and below that, just to say that you have done it well. 60 millimeters, more than 6 millimeters pre-sigmoid approach, patient made good recovery. So, anno surgery, early surgery, spasm, and you can say that endovascular surgery has and developed neurological complications and died in these. And the second one is also deficits, and with them cerebral edema is increasing and both patients died. And that it has no spasm on other. This patient died also. So it is easy to discuss and criticize surgery in operation room. Like Muhammad Ali said, you have to walk the walk, not to talk the talk. And this is the thing. Future is complex. It is difficult to know what the future is bringing to you. Why microsurgery is going down? This is important. Why it has died in some countries and it is dying. In some countries, like in Latin America, neurosurgeons send the patients to endovascular surgeon because they are paid for that. $1,000, $2,000. This is easy money, and you don't have to make anything else. And there are extremely skilled vascular surgeons like Professor San, permanently treated to kill the aneurysm. There is pressure from the industry. There's big meetings like now Link in USA, so there's big meetings and proposing that wonderful expensive stents and coils. So this is the pressure from surroundings and weakness to Alitrist, Sano, Kato were not involved in these randomized studies. So we don't know, but I think it is important to know that if you are doing well, you can still continue open microsurgery. It is not criminal, like Jaguars is saying. It is criminal to clip basilar tip. It's going down. Why are we losing our skills? This is deep cap. We have fears and lack of skills, and then there is poor training, and one of the most important things is love of comfort. Like Professor Yasaki said, you have to suffer to become a great neurosurgeon. This is certain. It is long way, long rocky way to treat basilar tip. Inside the vessel means that you are not treating the aneurysm in long-term follow-up. So, in our large series of more than 22,000 aneurysms, many are complex, large aneurysm 1,500, giant 600, MC aneurysms more than 6,000. This is the most common aneurysm in Finland. And then there are many cases. You have large intracerebral hematoma, hydrocephalus, AIDS patients with difficult vessels. So these patients have difficulties in endovascular treatment with the atherosclerotic vessels. So all these are candidates for direct surgery. Dr. Drake called impractical aneurysms. So take a look. Jaguars would say, easy cases. This is not true. This is not true. It is different to talk the talk than to walk the walk. So if you can do these cases, then okay, but I know it is also endovascularly very difficult. So large skull base, carotid internal aneurysm, you can say we push a stent there, but you see also complications. The patient is dying very early in peculiar thrombosis of the aneurysm, rupture of the aneurysm. So these are the complications. Behnam Reza Yahroni in Helsinki is doing his PhD on these cases, and it will be next year ready. It is more than 500 cases. In his PhD, main part, more than 300 cases selected from Helsinki and Kuopio, and then some international groups are involved. So this PhD will come soon. There is on the right side of me, there is a giant posterior circulation thrombosed aneurysm. This is no case for endovascular surgery, and the giant calcified aneurysm is not the case for endovascular surgery. And the lowest one, the simple MC aneurysm, this is so difficult to treat by endovascular treatment. You need stents and cords here. But simple clip is $1,000 to $2,000, so treatment. So the wall is the most important factor in treating these aneurysms. So if you go endovascular, so it has no meaning, but when you go exovascular, then it has aneurysms. You have to use DSA, ICG, Doppler, and ready to be bypassed if you are not able to treat directly the aneurysm. So this calcified MCA aneurysm, of course, you cannot clip it, and it is difficult to treat endovascularly, except you have very good collateral flow, so it needs a bypass surgery. And intraoperative DSA, here an example of large basilar bifurcation aneurysm treated with simple C-arm and intraoperative DSA to see that the clip is perfect, and it was, and the patient made good recovery. Here you have the DSA pills level means more than close to 1,800 cases. And here's something very important. This is giant cerebral artery aneurysm thrombose. In a Jehovah's Witness, Jehovah's Witness means that they don't accept blood. So I have operated on many, and it is not that the aneurysm is You see the post-operative angios, and please take a look. I'm using a bigger flap than usual because I have high respect to the annulus. So you have to tailor your approach according to the disease what you are doing, not to try to flip this annulus to. Because you are a medical doctor, this patient, 28 years old, had 4 bleedings on Monday, headaches, unconscious, then emergency room, both pupils dilated. We gave mannitol, went immediately to operation room to flip this anterior communicating annulus and take the hematoma out, and the patient made a recovery like operate or use coils, you cannot save lives. So, future, at the moment, 5/6 of the world for treatment, not the walls, but the teaming is doing the work, and this is important. What is the future? I think in future the annulus will be treated like ulcus ventriculi, no more by surgery, but by biological means.